Sometimes you just wake up with a thought in your head. Most of the time it's nonsense, but occasionally it's a serious question that needs to be answered. Like this one. Where is John Moz? Ever since the masterful We Must Become the Pitiless censors of ourselves in 2011, the musician and composer has largely disappeared. There was a rarities compilation in 2012, and the occasional new track, but that's about it. Moz himself has been silent, too. He surfaced to psychoanalyze Ariel Pink a while back, but apart from that, we've heard nothing from the most voluble and interesting man in music. Where is John Moz? Is he doing another PhD in some sort of esoteric field of philosophy? Is he working on a new album? Has he retreated to rural Minnesota? In all seriousness, though, the music world needs more people like John Moz. True oddballs, and I use that term with all due respect, are few and far between these days. Genuinely weird pop stars like, say, Prince have been replaced by determinedly weird ones like Lady Gaga. Remember her? And the world of indie is more beige than ever. There's been plenty written about the changing economics of music, and the way that record companies are ever less likely to bet on anything they think isn't a sure thing. You can see the same pattern in Hollywood, with the endless parade of sequels and reboots and comic book adaptations, along with pretty much every other aspect of popular culture. The merciless logic of the free market reigns supreme. All of which is to say, music isn't necessarily more boring than it used to be, but it feels more compartmentalized, not so much by genre, because all in all I think people are less adherent to genre loyalty than they used to be, but by the sort of role it plays in culture. We have pop music, which exists as both a genre and a sort of commercial descriptor. It is, quite literally, popular music. Then, we have less popular music that is still financially viable for its creators, what we call indie music, for instance. And then we have crazy, weird shit that will never be commercially successful and has no aspirations toward being so. Whoever's playing at Red Light District in Far Rockaway on any given night, people who exist entirely outside this structure are few and far between. John Moz is not one of them, and doesn't pretend to be. His music flits between the two latter categorizations, and for all its strangeness, it still clearly works within the stylistic strictures of pop music. Theodor Adorno, of whom Moz is apparently a big fan, sets out these strictures here. The Dr. version is that all pop music exists within a standardized framework, and it's a given song's relation to this framework that gives that song part of its meaning. This framework is as much capitalistic as it is stylistic, and Moz clearly recognizes the way that music works within the context of capitalism. He often discusses exactly this, which if nothing else makes him about a gazillion times more self-aware than many of his peers.